right. So before we get started on this episode, I just want to say thank you very much to Alan and the rest of the Next Level crew because, well, I have to honestly say I needed a lot of coaching and they came into my life at the right moment. So I'm also uploading this one a little bit ahead of schedule before some others, just for the sheer fact that I'm marking this as a growth point. So this way it's kind of like a milestone marker so everyone can see the next few episodes of before I started this podcast class, and then it's here. So then everything else forward is essentially as I'm learning and growing, learning from Alan and Kevin and Amy. I believe I'm terrible with names. Y'all should know this by now, and I'm so sorry for everyone that I've ever had some kind of mess up with their name because I mess mine up sometimes all the time. So. But this is a super fun episode, and he has an amazing story. So please listen all the way through because it is something that everyone can get something out of, and I hope you enjoy. So thank you very much. Much love. Hello, and welcome back to Retrieving Sanity with your podcast host Keegan, and this is your podcast for all mental health, addiction, recovery issues, and topics. And I've got some questions for you. Are you looking to unlock your peak potential, needing to align yourself to something that feels right? Do you feel kind of stuck and don't know how to do it? Well, today's guest is a man who went from external success to internal transformation and now dedicates his life to helping others do the same. After surviving a near-fatal car crash at 26, Alan Lazaros asked the hard questions, and what he found changed everything. He's now the CEO and founder of Next Level University, a global top 100 self-improvement podcast, and a coach who leads with heart and strategy. Whether it's health, wealth, or love, Alan helps people become the most aligned version of themselves. So, Alan, how are you doing today? And man, it is just exciting to have you on.
Keegan, what's happening, man? Thank you for the intro. Thank you for having me. I mentioned to you earlier off air that I am wildly overwhelmed, but I remember what it was like in the beginning when no one cared and it was crickets. So I'm very grateful to be here, man. It's an honor. I appreciate it.
Of course, man. And yeah, it's one of those things like everyone's got to start from somewhere, but how does your somewhere in beginning look like?
Yeah, so I'll take you back and I'll try to condense 36 years into less than 5 minutes. It's going to be a challenge for me. So there's three main parts of my life, and we all have sort of our own hero's journey. Mine started in adversity, unfortunately. My birth father passed away in 1991. I was born in 1988. He passed away suddenly in a car. His name was John McCorkle. He was 28 years old. I was almost 3. So John McCorkle was my dad. My real last name is McCorkle. It was Jim, Joe, John, Jane, Joan, Jeanette. 6 kids, big Irish Catholic family, born and raised in Massachusetts. Yeah. And so John McCorkle was my dad. And I had a sister at the time who was 6. Much more devastating for her because that was her best friend.
Yeah.
My mom was 31 at the time. Then my stepfather came into the picture. And from 3 to 14, I playfully refer to my life as boats and BS. Is this an explicit show? Is there no swearing, or am I allowed to? I'll be respectful.
There's post-production for a reason.
Okay, gotcha. So I'll be respectful though. Boats and BS. The reason I call it that is because my stepfather, Steve Lazaros, he worked for a company called AGFA. They did hospital computers during the .com era, from basically the early 90s, 1991, all the way to the early 2000s. And the .com era in the U.S. was big economic boom times. And we had boats, we had a Ducati motorcycle, we had snowmobiles, my mom drove a BMW, we had vacations and ski trips and Xbox and Dreamcast and early Christmas presents and this whole nine. So from the outside looking in, my life looked great. From the inside out, it was not. My mom and stepdad did not get along, and that's a polite way to put it. And they loved to party too. They were, yeah, for sure. Stepfather leaves at 14, and I go from, he took 90% of the income with him. So I go from boats and ski trips, we literally had a yacht, to now I get free lunch at high school because our income is so low. Trade in the BMW for a little Honda Civic. We're not going to starve, but we don't have cable, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I go from, I hope I get into school. WPI, my college that I went to, it was a dream of mine when I was a kid. It's kind of like a mini MIT in Massachusetts. It's Worcester Polytechnic Institute. It's an engineering school.
Okay.
I wanted to be a computer engineer.
Yeah.
Master's in business. I wanted to be like my hero, Steve Jobs at the time, be a Fortune 50 CEO.
Yeah.
And that was my dream. And
Okay.
so I went from I hope I get in
Mhm.
to even if I do get in, it's $50,000 a year. How am I going to go? Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I bootstrapped my way through high school. I get
Mhm.
straight A's. I get what's called the President's Award. It's actually behind me. Thank you, brother. Signed by George W. Bush.
Oh, wow.
And you get straight A's. So all 4 report cards, all 4 years, 16 report cards straight, you have to get straight A's. You have to get a 95 or above GPA.
Jeez.
I got 189 in honors English, and luckily it was weighted because it was an honors class, and so I still got the award. But basically, I got straight A's through all of high school, got all the scholarships and financial aid. I was the obnoxious kid at the ceremony that never sat down. And then I go to WPI. I graduate with high distinction, computer engineering, master's in business, and then I was off to the races in corporate. So
Whoa.
preschool, kindergarten, elementary school, middle school, high school, college, corporate.
Mm-hmm.
I did that ladder.
Yeah.
I did it very well.
Uh-huh.
And when I got to corporate, I was so used to going without after my stepdad left that I didn't need much. So I had $500 for rent. I didn't have any kids. I didn't have a mortgage. I bought a 2004 Volkswagen Passat. So I was used to being so broke in high school and college. And when I started making tons of money, I just had so much. So I paid off $84,000 worth of college debt in a single year, had $150,000 in a Vanguard account with different stocks, tech companies. And I went from being broke in college to when I got to corporate, I rose very quickly. So it was 65 a year, and then it was 85 a year, 85 to 105, 105 to 125, 125 to 180. So in my early 20s,
Wow.
I had an income of $180,000 a year in my early 20s.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I didn't even think that was weird. That's the weird part. Now, in hindsight, it's
wow.
very, very clear that that's weird.
Yeah.
Put it all away. Didn't need much.
Mm-hmm.
Put it into stocks and ETFs, tech companies mostly. Okay. Made tons of money there.
Okay.
Then I get in my car accident. Okay, so I'm 26. I'm up in New Hampshire. My fault. Cross the double yellows. Dark winter night. I'm supposed to yield, and I don't. The snowbanks were covering the yield sign. Cross the double yellows. I hit a lift-kitted pickup truck, what I thought was a Mack truck. Luckily, it wasn't. Head on. My fault. Thank you, Volkswagen. I used to call this car the Tank. German-engineered steel trap of a car.
Yeah.
And I used to call it the Tank. It totally saved my life.
Oh, yeah.
So no one was killed. No one was permanently injured. But if you circle back, my dad died in a car when he was 28. I'm 26 at the time. And this is the second chance my dad never got. So I was this is quarter life existential crisis of did I take the right path? Who am I? So for me, that was my awakening. Some people have a job, some people have a career, some people have a calling. That's when I found my calling, which you mentioned in the intro, which is to reach my own unique potential and help others do the same. Everything else is secondary. That's what's written over here. And through coaching, training, and podcasting, I help people with fitness, personal development, and business. And I just went all in, man. That's when I found personal development. That's when I went from external achievement to internal fulfillment. And that was 10 years ago. So I started a little company called Alan Lazaros LLC, what you'll never learn in school but desperately need to know. Because when I found personal development, I didn't understand why we didn't learn any of this. It's like, why didn't we learn about courage and character and vulnerability and humility and how to build it and self-belief and self-efficacy and self-worth? Why didn't we learn any of these things that very clearly matter? And to this day, that is my role. Next Level University is helping people reach their potential in health, wealth, and love. And we teach personal development and success principles. And so I've designed my entire existence around it now, which is pretty cool. And I guess that's hopefully 5 minutes.
Yeah. We're sitting right at a little over, but that is totally on spot. I love that. That is one heck of a breakdown, and you did a fantastic job at it too.
Thank you.
Yeah. And it's not easy to recount a story like that just really shakes you to your core, and it's one that you've mastered in a sense, but at the same time, I wouldn't say mastered because you're continuously building yourself, right? So it's not like you just said, I'm going to help everyone else and I'm done too, right?
Yeah, of course
You're constantly learning, and I'm sure you're learning from your clients as you're teaching them, right?
Constantly. I feel like I learn more from my clients. So I have an advantage And the advantage is I have 20 clients from all different cultures, all different backgrounds, all different industries. One of them's 4 times a week, one of them's 3 times a week, one of them's 2 times a week, and the rest are weekly or bi-weekly or a couple monthly. But they're all different cultures, backgrounds, industries, men and women, and I just get so much data from all of them. I mean, I coach someone at Mass Mutual. I coach someone who has their own investment portfolio. I coach someone who owns 7 properties. I coach someone who started their business from scratch. I coach someone who has a YouTube channel. So I get to integrate all of this awareness. And what you find is that the principles of success apply to every industry, but the way in which you apply them changes. And so I feel like I learn more from my clients than my clients learn from me, but they learn from the fact that I'm learning from other clients too. There's so much integration. Like people think chemistry and physics are separate, when in reality, yeah, exactly. They're totally, there's integration. And I feel very blessed that I get to do the work I do because my awareness of myself, others, and the world exponentially increases. And then I got to go back and reflect on how dumb I used to be.
Sitting there and reflecting on that kind of stuff can be a downer, though. And I love how you're actually facilitating the whole, this is stuff that we should have learned in school of sorts, right? And you're saying that all these people have these different backgrounds and are successful in their own rights and doing all this other stuff, but they also didn't learn this stuff. And so now they're coming to someone that they're trusting is going to do the absolute best for them, right?
Yeah.
So
in the coaching aspect,
yeah,
I feel very grateful. And it's been hard. So I've been mentoring for 10 years, coaching for 8, which means I started getting paid. And I did fitness coaching, and I did mindset coaching, and I did peak performance coaching, and I did a little bit of life coaching for a very short time. And then I did business consulting, and now it's business coaching. But I feel very grateful that they trust me, because that's really what they're doing, is they're trusting me with their future.
Yeah.
And that's a big responsibility. And it's my favorite work in the world. It's also unbelievably meaningful, but it's also ridiculously difficult. Yeah. Like I was late and you were very graceful. I appreciate it. The reason I was late is I have a client, his name is Greg, and he missed last week and we had to catch up and we got into it. And then it was, oh shit, I got to go. I was 7 minutes late to this podcast recording because I was in flow with him. And then we pulled up the calendar because I was doing calendar hygiene stuff. And I was, oh my God, I'm supposed to be on a podcast right now. I got to go, man. So it's the best work in the world, but it's also unbelievably challenging. And I feel like those two often go hand in hand.
And I love how you're sitting there treating your clients one-on-one like that, because a lot of people, whenever they're sitting there wanting to better themselves, they want to feel seen, they want to feel heard, they want to feel understood. And so you take that time to actually get to know your clients, right? Because if you don't relate to them, you can't really coach them either, right?
Well, so this has actually been one of the hardest things in the space for me. When I came into the personal development industry, I did fitness for a while. One of the things that I've found really difficult is that over time, so I passed, and I'm saying this not to brag, I'm saying this to build credibility. I started a 10,000 hour tracker 10 years ago. I used to do it on little flashcards. I had these little black notebooks for a while, and eventually I digitized it all. It's all in Google Sheets now. Thank you, Google. And 10,889 hours of coaching, training, and podcasting at this stage.
Golly.
10,889. So, and there's something about that 10,000 mark. I feel like something's different. It seems so arbitrary, but I'm telling you, there's something to it. But my point is, I've actually come to realize through coaching so many people how abnormal I actually am.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
That's been really alarming. So you do have to relate to your clients. You do have to get to know them. And my main objective with each client is matching their mental map with reality. So I use the metaphor of a self-driving car. So I have a self-driving car. Technically, it's supervisor mode. So I'm in the driver's seat, but it drives itself. It's unbelievable. So I think all of us, a self-driving car needs 3 things. Okay. It needs a current location that's accurate. It needs to know where it is relative to other things. It needs an accurate destination location. Okay, a goal. And it needs to know the terrain.
Ooh, the environment.
Yes. And so if you remember back in the Garmin days, when you used to have to go in, plug it in, update. Yeah, see, you're laughing. Great. So you're, how old are you? I'm 36.
I'll be 33 in August.
So. Okay, so you remember Garmin. Yeah, you're old enough to remember Garmin before Google Maps and all that.
Turn left.
So, yeah, turn left off a cliff, right? This is what's happening, I think. And I'm an engineer. Everything's mathematics and probabilities and statistics and structure and discipline and all that. People's mental map is wrong.
Okay.
They see themselves, others, in the world inaccurately. So it's like a self-driving car that thinks it's a road. It's really a cliff. And so we're just driving off a cliff repeatedly and then blaming the world or blaming ourselves or we're blaming the wrong thing. The real reason people are not successful, and you can statistically look this up. I did a monthly meetup training recently. We do them every month for free. We did our 44th is coming up in a week, 2 weeks. And one of them I looked up, only 3% of people have clear written goals.
Wow.
So we don't know where we are. We don't know where we're headed, and we don't know how to get there, and we don't have updated maps, just like Garmin. So we're driving off cliffs and then blaming the government or blaming ourselves or blaming the world, when in reality, the real culprit is not that we're not good enough. It's that we think inaccurately. And one of the reasons we think inaccurately is because we didn't learn anything that was really important. And I don't want to say nothing, but if you don't understand yourself, others, and the world, how are you supposed to flourish within it?
You can't.
You can't. And so that's all I'm doing for my clients is I'm literally studying them. Conscious mind, subconscious mind, unconscious mind, peripheral nervous system, central nervous system, inputs, outputs, say, think, do, feel, believe, where they invest their time, effort, and money. And I'm just helping them. I'm reprogramming them basically like a computer, and they're allowing me to do that. Right. And usually it's through hard truths they don't want to hear. There's some people who are really good looking who think that they're not because people tried to take advantage of them. And then there's other people who think they're good looking that really aren't. And all I'm asking is everyone's accurate, right? Because the way you make decisions in the world is predicated on your place within it. And if none of us know statistics and we don't know if we're smart or dumb or good looking or not or capable or not, and I always say, don't design your career and your calling on a weakness. Double down on your strengths, mitigate your weaknesses, that kind of thing. So again, very esoteric, very intense, but that's my coaching is basically if I can get you, Keegan, to see yourself, others, and the world more accurately, you can now make effective choices. And I think a good metaphor is trying to beat the greatest chess masters in the world when you don't know what the pieces do. That's what we're all born with. We are born naked, scared, and ignorant.
Yeah.
And we are told, go be successful. And we're up against the greatest chess masters in the world, and we don't know what the bishop does. We don't know what the rook does. We don't know what the king and queen do. We don't know how to play the game because no one taught us how to play the game. They taught us how to play basketball or football, but they didn't teach us how to play life.
Oh, man, that is deep. And you're entirely right. Like, there's so many things, especially on my own recovery journey, mental health journey and stuff, that I'm sitting here going like, why am I finding out about this on my own and so late in life? And that's the thing. It's there. So many things could have been avoided or mitigated or stuff like that. But I wouldn't be the person that I am without those experiences. But however,
there's the paradox.
Yeah. Right. And and that's the thing is that, so how do you stop someone from experiencing an experience that is probably going to benefit them, even if it's going to bite them in the ass?
Yeah, so you and I talked a little bit, and we met each other in our group coaching program too. I had struggled in the past, dabbled with alcohol and with some drugs. For me, drugs were never really a big issue. Alcohol, too much and too often. So I've been sober 6 years. I actually used to, thank you, brother. Thank you. I know you're coming up on 4.
Yes, sir.
Best decision, I always say this, what's the one decision I can make today that solves 1,000 future problems?
Ooh.
Quitting alcohol is one of the best decisions I have ever made in my entire life. It's unbelievable. Now, it's been terrible for my social life. It's been really bad for my social life, but it's been really good for my health and my fulfillment.
Yeah.
But anyways, so the reason I bring that up is I think wisdom, and I've been thinking a lot about this, is knowledge plus experience plus reflection.
Ooh.
So we sit there and we go, well, if I had known how much I was destroying my brain from a neuroscientific standpoint, I wouldn't have destroyed it as much.
Yeah.
If I had known, and so you have to know better to do better. And after my car accident, I learned about the ACE score, adverse childhood experiences. I learned about trauma. I learned about internal family systems. I learned about cognitive behavioral therapy. I learned about personal development. I learned about physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. I learned about all these things. Well, I would have benefited tremendously from learning that earlier in life. Who wouldn't have? And so we all have to live in this weird paradox of, I learned it later on after adversity, and that adversity wouldn't have happened had I known it earlier. However, had I known it earlier, I wouldn't have had the adversity that gave me the humble pie to then go learn it. And so it's this weird paradox, and I have a hard time explaining this, but I'm going to try.
Okay.
I think your relationship with regret determines a lot of your success or failure in health, wealth, and love. I'll explain.
Ooh, okay.
So at 26, I had a lot of regret. Now, I had achieved a lot. I wasn't a bad person, but I definitely had abandonment issues. My stepdad left when I was 14. Dad died when I was 2. I didn't tell you this part yet, but when I was 14 and my stepdad left, still haven't seen or spoken to him or anyone from his side of the family since.
Wow.
Not a single person.
Jeez.
Same year, my mom gets in a fight with my Aunt Sandy. We get ostracized from her side of the family.
Ouch.
And we didn't associate much with the McCorkles anymore because we were the Lazaroses. And when I came back and reassociated with the McCorkles, it was kind of the ghost of Christmas past because I looked just like my dad.
Oh. Ouch.
Yeah. So it was never the same, really. So I kind of, by the time I was 14, lost 3 families by the time I'm 14. Sister moved out that same year, too, by the way.
Oh, man.
So then it was just me and my mom in that house.
Oh.
And it was, okay, no trust fund, no generational wealth, no dad. Like, we're in some serious trouble here.
Yeah.
Fortunately, my trauma response to that was twofold. But I never learned about the trauma responses, so this is only in hindsight. The trauma responses are fight, flight, freeze, and fawn.
Yep.
Okay, I didn't hear about fawn until I was 30.
Yeah, same here.
Fawn is to appease. I became this social coward. Goodwill Hunting, I think, is kind of a good metaphor for my life a little bit.
Okay.
Abandonment issues, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Big math and science nerd myself as well. But the point is, I became this social chameleon who fit in because I didn't want to lose anyone after that. I had lost so much in terms of friends and family that I didn't want to lose people. So I became this chameleon who fit in and was everything for everyone, nothing for himself.
Yep.
And then my car accident hit at 26 and I went, oh, this isn't the life I want to live. This is, and there's a book called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying by a woman named Bronnie Ware. I actually have these flashcards. If you can see them on camera, I carry them around. And I interviewed her, actually. She wrote this book. She's from Australia. It's called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. Very good.
Okay.
She worked in hospice for 8 years. She thought her job was to take care of the terminally ill, when in reality, her calling, she says, was to hear these regrets. I wish.
Oh.
She noticed these same common regrets over and over and over again with all these people that were terminally ill. And she wrote a book about it. She also has a TED Talk called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. We interviewed her. I was a fanboy on that one. And I have this in my pocket because I never wanted to forget. So I had all this regret after my car accident. And the number one is I wish I had lived a life true to myself and not what others expected of me.
Ooh.
And the third one so the one that I did horribly was that one. I wish I had lived a life true to myself and not what others expected of me. So much of my life was predicated on what other people wanted for me or of me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't actually my fucking life.
Yeah.
Pardon my French.
No, you're good.
Might have to bleep that one out.
It's fine.
Number 3 is I wish I had the courage to express my true feelings.
Ooh.
Yep. And so we all have these regrets. So back to my original point.
Okay.
If you have a negative relationship with regret, what I've noticed is there's a correlation between those who face regrets and then use that to change and those who say no regrets.
Yep.
So if you've ever heard someone say no regrets, well, the chances are, no regrets, not even a single letter. Yeah, exactly. We're the Millers.
Yep.
So not even no regrets. It's funny. Well, here's the deal, and this is what I recommend. I think the 2 best teachers on planet Earth are fulfillment and regret. I think fulfillment is the soul's recognition of alignment with its highest self. I think fulfillment is do more of that.
Yeah.
After this podcast, if I'm fulfilled, that's my soul saying, Alan, that's your calling. Keep it up. You got this. If I regret this episode, what does that say about you, Keegan? I'm kidding. No, the point is that if I do regret doing this, it means there's something I need to learn and shift for the future.
Oh, okay.
And so we have an animal self, we have an emotional child self, and then we have a highest self. And I think our highest self is trying to tap us on the shoulder and say, maybe that wasn't the best choice, Alan.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't binge drink a fucking again, right? Yeah. You regret it every time. Why do you keep doing this to yourself? So to me, feel the regret, don't get stuck in it, and then use it to change. But now it comes to the other point, which is self-efficacy. If you don't have self-belief and self-efficacy, why would regret be useful? I used to think adversity is your advantage.
Yeah.
I have come to realize that adversity, if you don't have self-belief, is just pain and adversity.
Ooh.
Why would someone who didn't believe in themselves invest in themselves? Why would someone who didn't believe in themselves take adversity and then do something great with it? They don't. Why wouldn't they go to a bottle or to a drug or to an escape or to Netflix or to pornography or to whatever? And so self-efficacy, if you study this in psychology, you find out is unconscious and subconscious belief in one's own ability to change. It's also known as a growth mindset. And if you have a growth mindset, adversity is an advantage because you learn from it and then become more. It's the phoenix from the ashes, rise anew. If you don't have a growth mindset, adversity is just pain and suffering, and you're going to escape it any chance you can. And unfortunately, that's why a lot of people with a high adverse childhood experiences, ACE score, actually has early mortality.
Yeah, I can totally see that. And I love how you're talking about using regret as an actual tool, as a force to be reckoned with for the betterment, and not something to act as a crushing weight that just keeps you in the same rut,
Nice.
Because are you familiar with the AA book at all?
12 steps, I'm not fully. I know acceptance is one of the first steps, which I think is important.
Yeah. So in the book, there isn't necessarily a part where it's talking, it's not a step work, but it says, examining the past, we don't wish to shut the door on it. Instead, we will sit there and use our experiences to help the next man that comes through the door looking to get better, And
Nice.
So that I've never heard someone explain growth mindset just like you did. And it makes, I know I've been doing this for a little bit. I'm on my own journey, but your growth mindset just actually planted a flag in my head.
Nice.
So, thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Keegan, you're so very welcome. That is one of the things that I love most about my work is if I can take an idea and help you have a deeper understanding, now your life will change as a byproduct.
Yep.
And you'll make new choices, and then that will ripple outward, and then you can share it with other people, and then that's how the whole world gets better, right? So yeah. Thank you for that.
And of course, thank you. And so one of the things about it, though, is that you have to be intentional, right? You can't just be all willy-nilly, and that's why you said something about writing down your goals, right? You want something to actually aim for. So how did you get that intentional living whenever you needed to first build the self-efficacy?
Yeah. Okay. So this is the goal setting thing. When I said that I was weird, this is weird about me. So I used to be too much of a coward to share this, but I've realized that I'm doing everyone a disservice, including myself, by not being all of me. All right. So when I was younger, I had tons of goals and dreams. I always have. And all kids kind of do, or at least they act like they do. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Everyone around me did have goals and dreams, but it turns out it's because I'm so future-oriented and goals and dreams-oriented, and I think it was a trauma response. So when the past is painful and the present is painful, I think I escaped into the future. And I think I used my prefrontal cortex to reverse engineer. Because to me, it's like, listen, people would come to me, and they would literally say, these are the best years of your life. And I remember thinking, God, I fucking hope not. This is terrible. My high school was terrible. What are you even talking about, right? And so now I understand high school was something they enjoyed and their life has gone downhill since. But my point is if the past is painful and the present is painful, some super achievers, quote unquote, they go into the future to escape because life is so painful that the only way to get out of it is to imagine a bigger, better, brighter future and then to work toward it. So that was me. Yeah. That was my trauma response. So I was socially, it was fawn and be a coward, which I'm still working on.
Doing a great job.
Behind the scenes, thank you, brother. Behind the scenes, it was fight. It was aim higher, work harder, get smarter. Yeah. It was aim higher, work harder, get smarter. It was aim higher, work harder, get smarter. And the more you grow, the more people chop you down. Yeah. And then I become more of a social coward. And then behind the scenes, it's aim higher, work harder, get smarter, which then what? Makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So rinse and repeat that for 30 years. And that's how I ended up here. It's been brutal. Yeah. But my point, to answer your original question about intentionality and goals, when I read the stat to prepare in 2024 for that meetup, it was setting clear goals for 2024. And it said only 3% of clear written goals and only a small percentage of them ever achieve them. I was like, what? I've never not had clear written goals. I remember, were you a Halo 2 guy back in the day?
Yeah.
Okay, hell yeah. Bungie.net, 20th in the world. I always had goals, and they were always connected to a number. That's right. That's weird. Apparently, that's weird. In my world, everyone seemingly had goals because I was so goal passionate. So they were mirroring me.
Oh.
And as I got older, and I'm 36 now, I look back on all my friends and high school friends and college friends and corporate friends. It's like, I thought you guys were gonna, like, XYZ. You said you were gonna. Okay, so this is the part that I never used to share because I was too cowardly.
Gotcha.
When I was very young, I decided I wanted to be a lawyer, politician, president, or engineer, MBA, Fortune 50 CEO like my hero Steve Jobs at the time. Okay. At 12 years old, I built my first computer with my buddy Kiki, and we used to argue who was smarter, Bill Gates or Steve Jobs. I used to think it was Bill. Now I think it's Steve. Either way. The point is, and neither one are my heroes anymore, by the way. I need to say that. But the point that I'm making is I've never not been super future-oriented.
Okay.
In my early 20s, I used to tell people my career won't even start until I'm in my 50s. It's super weird. And so since then, I've researched this. There's the prefrontal cortex part of the brain. This is the part that dolphins have, primates have. The ability to project into the future and reverse engineer finish lines. Apparently, that is not normal. Some people can think a day out. Some people can think a week out. Some people can think a month out. Some people a quarter. Some people a year. Some people decades. And they hooked people up to fMRI systems. And some people could only envision a stranger 10 years out. They couldn't envision themselves.
Oh, whoa.
And therefore, how are you supposed to reverse engineer a finish line that you can't actually imagine?
You can't, because it doesn't exist.
Exactly. So it's like a video game where the world ends at a certain point. If you've ever seen that meme where one person is looking over a wall and they're standing on books and courses and workshops, and the other one like can't see over the wall.
Yeah.
That's kind of what this is your brain develops over time, and if you don't use your prefrontal cortex to envision the future, and you don't believe in yourself, you're basically not designing your future. You're kind of stumbling upon. Last piece, I was in college. I was in a dorm room called Riley 1 at Worcester Polytechnic Institute, and it was a tech school. This is an engineering school, so the nerdiest of the nerds. We were mining for Bitcoin in our dorms. Okay, this is back then. I wish we knew. Holy shit.
All right.
Yeah. But anyways, we didn't know. This is back in 2000, and I graduated high school in 2007, college 2008. So this is 2007, 2008.
Okay.
And there was a website back then called StumbleUpon.
Oh God, I love StumbleUpon.
You remember StumbleUpon?
I love StumbleUpon.
Dude, StumbleUpon, for your listeners, was a website where you would do stupid shit and funny stuff or whatever, and it was like webcam roulette. It would just go from webcam to webcam to webcam. Yeah, so you obviously did it. Everyone in the dorm was doing it. I think that is what most people do in their careers. I think that's what most people do in life. They don't design the future they want. Because why would someone who doesn't have self-belief design the future they want?
Yeah.
They don't. They stumble upon a person. They stumble upon a job. They stumble upon a career. They stumble upon that. Most people are stumbling upon results and then not self-assigning it because it wasn't premeditated.
Ooh.
So for someone like me, I decided to get straight A's, and then I went and got straight A's. I decided to go to WPI, and then I went to WPI. I just decided to get high distinction, and then I got to high distinction. So what I've figured out is that self-efficacy and self-belief cannot be built unless it's premeditated.
Huh. Yeah.
Because otherwise you won't self-assign it. This is why self-worth issues happen with famous people, because some of them don't even know how they got famous.
Yeah.
And they feel like they aren't worthy of it. Or they think they're super worthy of it with very little effort, right?
Yeah.
So what I've come to understand in the psychology is the way you build self-belief is you say, I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow. And then you keep the promise.
Yeah.
And when you go, after you go, see, I did that. And none of this is conscious. This is all subconscious or unconscious. So this is what I tell people. Everyone think of that pufferfish person who seemingly is 10 out of 10 confident. And I say, why would someone who's level 10 confident only have level 2 goals?
Ooh.
It's all fake.
Yeah.
Deep down, they don't believe in themselves and they're really insecure, so they have to puff up. And everyone's going, well, what about you, Alan? No, hold on. With me, I actually usually dial it down. I'm working through not doing that because I've never not had goals. So if you want to build self-belief, you have to set small incremental goals, start hitting them. And then, so here's what I say. If you want a level 10 life, set a level 1 goal, hit it, then set a level 2 goal, hit it, then set a level 3 goal, hit it, 4, 5. And then you see people that achieve unbelievable freaking things like a Tom Brady or whoever, and they seem so arrogant when in reality they're not arrogant. They just did that ladder from when they were little boys or girls.
Yeah.
And you can build self-belief. You can build it. I'm certain you can. But no one taught us how.
No.
So some of us built it on accident because we're trying to escape into the future from our terrible childhood. And other people just stumbled upon stuff and didn't know whether or not they were worthy of it.
Yeah. Damn. Okay. You just completely flipped my script on like my own journey too right now, because as I'm listening, I'm just going like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, I see that in me in my journey. And oh, that explains that. Oh, okay. And it really is just like, I don't know if you've seen that meme where it's like, everyone is just growing up is figuring out that everyone is winging something that we shouldn't be winging.
Yeah,
And,
nice. That's a good, I've never seen that, but that is hilarious and accurate. Yeah. Growing up is realizing Santa Claus isn't real over and over and over again.
Yeah. Because whenever I was growing up, I would look at the people a little bit above me, like a little bit older, and I was like, oh man, they have everything figured out. They know what they're doing. They know how they're doing and all that. And then I got to that age and I was like, where's the rule book? Like, I missed a memo somewhere. Hello. And it's just, I was definitely one of those people that was stumbling upon everything, but I didn't have that self-belief. I didn't have that self-worth. I didn't believe that I was worth anything. So I didn't even bother getting to know myself until the last couple of years, you know? So
Keegan, why would someone renovate a home they didn't believe was of value? So low self-worth was my issue too. Usually self-worth comes from social value. So what if all those people that you thought had it all figured out, what if they're just acting like they do socially?
Ooh. Yeah.
And what if behind the scenes they're actually wildly insecure, but they never show it because they can't be vulnerable? Because vulnerability is seen as weak, quote unquote.
It's not anymore.
I know it's not anymore, luckily, right? Thank you, Brene Brown. But ultimately, what I've come to realize, and looking back in hindsight, the more you climb the bell curve of statistical understanding, the more you look back with clarity.
Okay.
I am, quite frankly, alarmed at the role models I had growing up. From this vantage point, it is very clear that they knew very little.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. They acted like they knew a lot.
Yeah.
But of course they did. Everybody wants to be everyone's hero. No one's going to say, hey, by the way, Alan, I actually don't know shit.
Yeah.
Right? Instead, they're going to spew stuff right? Because they love the fact that, and this happens with parents all the time. Your parents are your heroes, and then you grow up and realize, oh, oh no.
Yeah.
And you realize, okay, they didn't have Google.
Yeah.
They didn't have ChatGPT. They didn't have the internet.
Mm-mm.
They used to have to go to the library.
Oh no.
And they didn't. They didn't. And they didn't really know much. And it's the same human consciousness thing of, we used to put leeches on our skin because we thought it cured illness. We used to blow smoke up people's literally, that's an actual thing. Doctors used to do that in the late 1800s. And we used to think the earth is flat. Apparently some people still do. And brother, science and psychology and neuroscience and physics and chemistry and biology and all these things were in their infancy. We just didn't know anything.
Yeah.
Human beings just didn't fucking know.
Nope.
And of course our parents didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
We only found a lot of this neuroscience stuff out in the last 15, 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Crazy.
fMRI wasn't even a thing 50 years ago.
Mm.
Electricity wasn't even a thing 150 years ago.
Yeah.
So we're learning exponentially, and I do feel like I'm grateful that we're in a time in history where knowledge is so accessible if you're on the internet. So there's 5.65 billion people on the internet. It's increasing exponentially because of Starlink, which is good. There's 8 billion people on the planet, over 8 billion now. And luckily we live in a global knowledge. We can access knowledge at our fingertips pretty much at any time. Some people can't in poverty-stricken nations and stuff.
Yeah.
But education is more accessible than it ever has been. However, the double side of that coin is now there's more nonsense on the internet than ever before.
Yeah.
And so now you got to filter through and figure out who your real role model is. So if I could bring that to down to earth, it's who is your role model? Who is your hero? Have you become the hero of your own story? Are you working toward becoming your own hero, becoming your own guide? Are you constantly trying to know better so you can do better? Because that's the one thing too. It's like, how are we supposed to do better if we don't know better?
Yeah.
And that's why the knowledge is power thing is a thing, but it's not. It's potential power. It's, I know how to do it, and now I'm actually going to act on it. And then I'm going to lead people and teach others the same thing. And that's my biggest passion, is just having conversations like this with you. I will leave smarter, and so will you, and then we can go help other people be more intelligent. And I think that's how people can get out of nihilism and hopelessness. Because when you think your future sucks, it's very nihilistic. I've been there. And I think that why would someone invest in their future that they don't think is bright?
Yeah, exactly.
Why would someone invest in themselves if they don't think they're of value? Why would someone invest in their goals if they don't believe in themselves? And so that's where we got to start, is helping people believe in themselves, helping people believe in their own bigger, better, brighter future, helping people believe that they're worthy of it, and getting them to start small and build.
Ooh, okay. So it's all about starting with the foundational building blocks of inner self-worth, pretty much.
Yes. Self-belief and self-worth. Yeah, those two. Yeah, I think that's what we all actually want. Most people think of it as self-confidence and self-esteem.
Yeah.
I think those are the micro versions of self-belief and self-worth. So self-belief and self-worth is the foundation we all have to build. And I think that we usually have one or the other. Very few people have both.
Yeah. Okay. That would make a lot of sense, because some people have that overinflated ego, but then they don't have the ability to actually do anything for themselves without being told what to do or having that external pressure put on to perform for someone else, And real quick, I'm looking at the time. We're getting close to our game show segment real quick. So I've got to ask though. And this is going to be like cut and everything to know. There's so much going on here. I want to have you back on at some point.
Yeah, of course. Done.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
Sweet.
Yeah. I would love to.
Good, because I've got so many questions for you, and I do not have enough time.
I appreciate it, man. Absolutely.
Alrighty. Well, let's see. Right here, we have got a little game show going. Here on Retrieving Sanity, we have a new game show segment for our guests, and they are specialized for our guest. And today, for Alan, we are going to play Level Up Lightning Round. It is a quick, focused challenge around self-mastery with a playful tone and real takeaways. So, Alan, you have about 60 seconds to answer as many rapid-fire prompts as possible. And are you ready?
All right, let's rock and roll, man. Challenge accepted.
All right. Prompt number 1. What daily habit that keeps you in alignment?
Habit tracking.
Habit tracking. Okay. Awesome. And number 2, what's a recent next level book you read, and what's one lesson from it?
Flowers for Algernon. It's a science fiction book. My favorite fiction book of all time. They give a young man named Charlie from the first person progress reports someone who was mentally challenged all the way to a genius IQ and then all the way back again. And it's unbelievable to see him reflect on the past, the present, and the future from a higher and higher and higher IQ.
Oh, wow. Okay. Huh. I'm gonna have to
Life-changing book.
I'm going to have to check that one out myself. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And number 3, give us a no BS definition of success.
Being sometimes brutally honest with the truth about yourself, others, and the world so that you can actually make effective choices to create outcomes that are positive and constructive.
Ooh, I like that. Thank you. Number 4, what's one belief you used to hold that you've since outgrown?
I used to believe that everyone wanted to reach their potential, their full potential, and I have since adapted that to I believe I want to reach my full potential and I want to attract other people who also do.
Ooh, that's deep. I like that.
A little depressing.
Not depressing. You're building a garden.
Yeah. I appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. Number 5, what's your realist advice for someone that is feeling stuck?
Oh, just look in the metaphorical mirror and look I call it getting naked, metaphorically. Mm-hmm. Look in the mirror at what is and accept what is. If you're attractive, accept it. If you're unattractive, accept it. And then work from there. You cannot work from a place of delusion. Self-delusion is such a bottleneck, and that's why the car accident changed my life. It got rid of all my delusion.
Gotcha. Out of Delulu land.
Yes. Yeah. Delulu, yeah.
All right, number 6, health, wealth, or love. What's the current area you're personally optimizing?
Wealth. The business is taking the majority of my time and effort, and health is probably next, and love is third. And I need to reorganize that because I don't want my relationship to suffer at all. And it's still great. I mean, it's wonderful, but I can feel like I need to reinvest in the relationship more.
Yep, I'm right there with you in that boat as well. So thank you for the metaphorical mirror right here. And number 7, what's one overlooked killer of self-worth?
Not investing in your own personal development.
Ooh, love that. And then number 8, give us a 10-second mirror prep talk.
You are either way better than you think statistically and you're afraid to show it because you get attacked and chopped down when you do, or you actually aren't that great and you're afraid to accept it because you feel less than. Either way, you have to face the truth.
Gotcha. Ouch for some people. And then we got a couple more. What's one sign someone's chasing success for the wrong reasons?
Ego and just status and bullshit and driving a Ferrari and again, nothing against Ferraris. They're investing their time, effort, and money into vanity metrics.
Gotcha. Okay. And then vanity metrics. I've not heard that term. I like that. And then number 10, last time you took a leap into the unknown, what was it?
Therapy. I have a therapist named Carol, and she's an internal family systems therapist, and it's the first time I've ever done therapy. I always say if you want a therapist, you probably need a coach. Success matters too, and if you want a coach, and I had dozens of mentors and coaches, then you probably need a therapist.
Okay. I love that. Therapy is so good.
Yeah.
All right.
That means you probably need a coach. I'm kidding. Because I hate therapy. I love coaching. I'm obviously joking. Yeah, both are good. Yeah.
All right. So, now that you've played our game show Level Up Lightning Round, you have earned the honorary title of the Legacy Sculptor, my friend, because you rebuilt your life from the wreckage of misalignment. Now you help others design their lives for holistic, sustainable growth, rooted in integrity, driven by purpose. So, thank you for playing that, by the way.
You are so very welcome. Keegan, that was awesome, man. Thank you for having me, and I would love to come back.
Gotcha. And I would love for one more question. And this one is, so Alan, the name of this podcast is Retrieving Sanity, and we explore how all facets of living life impact mental health. Looking at the incredible motley adventures of your life, what does retrieving sanity personally mean to you today, and what's one practice or perspective you believe is crucial for anyone on that journey?
I realized that one of my deepest fears was not belonging after the abandonment from when I was 14. And what if, and this is what I'm contemplating still, what if I am a statistical anomaly and I'm actually not supposed to belong? And what if what I really need is belonging in here and in here? And what if I'm meant to stand out instead of fit in?
That is really deep. Thank you. That is something that I think everyone can really just sit there and take a look in that metaphorical mirror and ask themselves that, right?
I think it's important to know where you are and who you are, and it's the scariest thing in the world to be unique because you really just don't fit in. I mean, how many people had their whole life designed in advance at 13, 11 years old, right? So you just get chopped down so much when you lean into what makes you unique. It's very unfortunate, and it's very true.
Yeah. So learning to be authentic is one of the things that a lot of people could really help to improve their life without even really knowing it, huh?
Yeah. So the outer circle that other people typically see is so there's 3 circles. There's what people want you to believe about them. Then there's what they want to believe about themselves. And then there's who they really are. Ooh. The car accident collapsed all those circles. Oh. So 26-year-old version of me never could have shared most of what I shared because I just was hiding who I really am a little bit because I wanted to fit in so desperately. And trust me, I had to override that shit a lot on this episode. My desire to fit in, I had to go for this episode because nothing I shared was statistically normal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you did an absolutely incredible job on just overcoming your old patterns or old beliefs and everything, because you blew me away. My audience is just going to be like, holy crap. They're going to understand what it's like to actually not just upgrade, but level themselves up, reach their peak potential and do it in a way that is meaningful and just sustainable, all that stuff. And I'm looking forward to the next episode. And I just can't thank you enough for just taking time out of your day to just share wisdom and profound wisdom at that, So
thank you, brother. Thank you for doing what you do. And I'm excited already for the next one. So let's schedule it. And for anyone who out there watching or listening, I hope that you leave with something, seeing yourself, others, or the world differently, more accurately. If you see yourself, others, in the world more accurately, then I've done my purpose.
Yeah. And you rocked the metaphorical kaleidoscope in my personal view of things. So it's going to be definitely a weird one after this one, because I'm going to be like, all right, I need to definitely make sure my goals are revised, because I actually did that not too long ago. Like, I was driving for work and I was like, what are my goals with everything? And I was like, I have like a throwing it at a dart kind of method, but then I talked it out to myself and I was like, I actually have some stuff. I need to write them down. They're in my head, but they're actually bullet pointed now. So
if you ever want to do a free breakthrough session, I'm happy to. 30 minutes, totally free, no strings attached. I have this thing called your diamond calling, and so for me, I'll give it to you in one sentence. I help people reach their potential in fitness, personal development, and business through the vehicles of coaching, training, and podcasting. My entire calling is done right there. I have more clarity with that one statement than 99.999% of people. Most people are not successful because they haven't got that much clarity. Clarity on yourself, others, in the world, and your place in it is alarmingly difficult. And I'm happy to help. And again, if not, no worries. But I'm happy to help.
I appreciate it. But where can everyone find you if they want to get in touch with you or Next Level University, anything like that?
So Next Level University, it's a podcast with 2,124 episodes.
Damn.
Kevin and I, we do an episode every day. It's 1% improvement, success and personal development in your pocket from anywhere on the planet, completely free. And it's what you'll never learn in school but desperately need to know. Health, wealth, life, and love. And nextleveluniverse.com is the website. This is what I say. If you have a sincere interest to reach your full potential, and you're humble and you have high work ethic, we are strivers, not arrivers, we are strivers, then you're going to love us. You're going to love NLU. It's Next Level You, pun intended. You, not me, you. And if you are looking for big rewards for minimal effort, do not reach out under any circumstances, because we're just going to piss you off. It's just a waste of my time and yours. We all have absolutely people and absolutely not people, and anyone who wants to work less and gain more, we're just not going to resonate.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, thank you for everything that you've done for just the world, for yourself especially, and for the podcast, because the podcasting world, because 1,000 episodes is no small feat. So I'm highly honored to even get to know you. I'm even more honored to have you on the show. And dude, I just want the best for you and everything that you go and do, because you deserve it, So thank you for everything.
Thank you, Keegan. Thank you for having me. Thank you for your grace with me being late. Kev said you were awesome, and that's why we invited you to the group coaching. He was absolutely right, man. Appreciate it. Keep doing what you're doing.
I appreciate you. And everyone out there, check out nextleveluniverse.com, right? Or is it Next Level U? Okay.
It's nextleveluniverse.com, yep.
Gotcha. Sorry, I'm bad with names. I'm trying to get better at that.
No stress, brother.
But everyone out there, check out Alan and Kevin and their Next Level Universe podcast. And by all means, swing by the website, give them some love, because they deserve it. And we'll see y'all on next week. But thank you for listening to Retrieving Sanity on WDJY 99.1 FM. I hope y'all have a great day. And Alan, do you have anything left for the audience? Any last words?
Gratitude. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And as always, much love to yourself and others if you can, but yourself first, because loving is hard sometimes. So with that, we're going to end it here, but y'all have a great day, or whenever it is that you're listening to this. So maybe have a good night.